Yeah. Yeah. All right. And how about a hey now for Tall Boy Friday, Hawaiian Shirt Friday, show number 115 with Dan and Jake. 115. It's a lot. It's more than 100. 84 of those shows have been right here, high atop my garage, or like barely over my garage. We're probably, what are we, 10 feet in the air? 12 feet? Do you have
That seems about right.
a measuring stick?
A measuring stick?
How do they measure when you're like in Denver? How do they know how high above sea level you are?
Yeah, I think they get
Do they
several
just poke a stick down in the crust?
yardsticks. They tape a bunch of tape measures together. You ever had a tape measure snap back on your finger? That's smarts.
Oh yeah. So relatable, bro.
Just a handy man.
Just a guy who's got the level out every weekend.
Kid loves the level. That's a good kid thing.
Trying to get the bubble in the middle.
Yeah.
That's how you know if you have a dumb kid, if you can't get the bubble in the middle. Let's see. Got a lot going on today. A lot. You believe me, Julie?
I believe you. It's a big Friday.
It's so big. Are you
We
wearing
made
your
it.
Hawaiian shirt?
Do it.
What about you other two bozos? You got to be kidding me. The guy who's here part-time is the only one with buy-in in there? Unbelievable.
I think Blake considers himself to be here part-time, tell you the truth.
Well, that would make two of us.
Well, that's Amazon.
It's so hard to get a hold of things in short notice. Yeah, because I only started wearing them whenever I started hosting this show. Oh, it was a solid year before that.
You're just part of the show. It's important to buy in.
He doesn't get you, sir.
Hmm.
I think is what he's telling you.
So do you want my big announcement now? I have promised a big announcement regarding this show.
Are you segueing from saying you don't think Blake's considering himself here for a long time into this announcement?
Unfortunately for you, it does not have anything to do with Blake's tenure here.
Okay.
But I think he has his eyes on, as some do, many do, drive time.
Why stop there? Why not become one of the Danettes? Why not go right to the DP show?
I can just tell he really steps his game up when he goes and produces the Musers. And then he comes over here and all he talks about is how George and Craig would do it whenever we're trying to lay out a show. And he's like, you really think you should lead off with Mavs? I think George and Craig would look at the Rangers. Anyway, big announcement regarding noon to 3 that has nothing to do with Blake. But I would like to announce, bigly, that 1 week from today, Jake will be off.
That's right.
That's the small announcement. Because Jake has been off before.
You know it.
But the Jake fill-in is someone who has never filled in from noon to 3 before. I don't know if you're familiar with this person, but I'm very excited that 1 week from today, sitting in Jake's chair, he will be here in the den above my garage. Radio Hall of Famer Mike Reiner.
Oh, my.
Mike Reiner is coming back to the Dallas airwaves for an extended 3-hour, 3+ hour dance mix. Mike Reiner will be sitting here with Kip, with BaD, in the Jake chair, probably wearing a Hawaiian shirt because...
He's retired.
Do we credit TC, who is hanging out doing some video work here today, actually? because he's in the hang zone, kind of.
I think what happened
Do
was
we credit Julie, TC, or Mike Reiner with Hawaiian Shirt Friday? Because my memory has Mike Reiner went to Jerry Fraley's funeral, came back wearing a Hawaiian shirt. We all got excited about that and said, hey, let's do it every week. He
But-
said, yeah, let's do it. We started wearing them. He forgot. That's my origin story of Hawaiian Shirt Friday.
yeah, the way I remember it was like most things, the males don't get credit, and no one really listened to them. But it wasn't until female, because TC was wearing a Hawaiian shirt on Friday by himself for like over a year.
Well, TC,
And you
famous
just
for
say it
doing
was Hawaiian
bits.
Shirt Friday with bit with no payoff.
Famous for doing bits with no payoff, but bits that made him happy. I think he also at one point shifted to just wearing a collared shirt every day because that was him being more professional.
Yeah, from Star Power.
Oh,
or
yeah,
local,
it would be a free,
local burger joint.
ill-fitting
Right.
shirt that didn't look comfortable, but like that was his sign of I'm being more professional every day.
Right.
But that was just Monday through Thursday.
And then we'd go to Hawaiian. And then once Julie joined the show, she's like, we need to do something to have some fun. And she suggested it, and we all ordered 5.
So she might have been the third person to really suggest it.
Right.
Maybe the fourth if you count Lumberg and
Right.
Office Space.
Which means you
But
can,
she gets all the credit
wear a Hawaiian
because
shirt and,
we're in the Me Too era and women
and jeans.
control everything.
While I was gone, I heard you guys declare that I'm the CEO.
That's true. We were trying to... So,
How about that?
well,
The CEO says do something, you do something.
it's true, and we have to, but the truth of it is we thought that, I don't remember what company we were talking about, Barstool came up eventually, but whenever we say something sexist or offensive, we want to be able to point to the fact that we have a female executive.
Right.
So it's
That's why.
partially merit-based.
I mean,
but
not
also,
that's not why,
but it does serve that purpose also.
but the Mavs happen to have a female CEO. And oh
That's
my
how
gosh.
it first came up, wasn't it?
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah.
Look who the Redskins just hired.
Right.
Oh no.
We promise.
Hey,
We're good to go.
See, that's the good part about sexism, is that it will get a woman hired in a very high position if your organization is so sexist that they get outed by Sports Illustrated.
Kind of cool the water for you a little bit.
Yeah, there will be an out of work woman who will all of a sudden find herself thrust into a position higher than she could have ever dreamed, just because Dan Snyder was pinching some bottoms.
Timing for some of these hirings is suspect, but all of these women seem very deserving of their roles.
Oh yeah,
I'm
sure.
on board with Sint until she said not until, but except for when she said she'd never heard of Mark Cuban until the Mavericks called.
Which was a blatant lie.
I feel like we should have been a little bit more
Like if that's true,
apprehensive from.
if you were a business person in Dallas, Texas, and had never heard of Mark Cuban, you should not have gotten that job.
I guess she was trying
I wrong?
to. She was trying to convey a sense of, hey, I'm not in his back pocket, and she did it using a very obvious
Lie.
possible fib. I'm gonna go with the fib.
Well, we made
Yeah.
Julie the CEO, but the reason we made BaD the HR director, if you
Especially because he's the humper.
was because of the hilarious bit that COVID brought us early in the COVID days on Twitter was pictures of, let's say, your kid throwing, some food on the ground or something, and somebody saying that, oh look, my HR director is having a bit of a fit during lunch break.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. Ha ha ha.
Procurement is out of control in the break room today.
Maybe a picture of the dog saying that, yeah, this is here's my sales manager taking some time off. But that bit was hilariously put out there by one Killer Kellison. And there's a reason we might want to call him. Call his phone there, Blake. Can we dial on the air? Or are we going to go through this thing again?
It's Friday. I don't want to ruin the show. Over
No, let's
this.
dial Killer on the air. He's got some major news.
Yeah,
I don't know if you saw the breaking news on the Killer.
Yes, he was. Well, I don't.
We're
wanna be-
hearing the answer right here.
Bad
we can't,
radio
We
guy,
can't
but-
dial on the air, can we?
No.
So all these years.
These are drops.
Is that a drop? Okay. Killer had a baby. Well, his wife had a baby, from what I understand.
I heard.
So I wanted to check in with.
I was mad
Killer.
because apparently he was sending Gordon placenta pics and not me.
Hey, may I speak with Jason Kellison, please? Hello, Jason. This is Dan McDowell and Jack Kemp. I'm sorry, not Jack Kemp. We're live on the radio on the Ticket in Dallas. Do we have permission to use your voice on the air? Okay.
How is the stock listing for
He said, "Give me 1 second." You're
KLRO
just yelling at him.
doing today? I want it to be listed. Killer Oil.
Oh,
I want a little.
is it public? Anyway,
You need a Series
congratulations.
B.
We hear you had a baby. Is that true? Way to go, Killer. How did you do that? Do you remember the day it was boy or girl? Do you remember the day little Killer was conceived? Okay, nice. Quietly, like in your in-laws' house?
I thought you had a lab baby like me.
What's that?
Oh, okay. And then you got it done en naturel, huh?
Oh, the test tube baby, the
Okay.
mix.
Listen,
Look, we've all had things.
yeah,
Or many
but
of us who have weaker sperm.
you know how like
have
people
had
who
to,
of a certain group or who've been through something can say it, but the rest of you can't.
I've been through it.
Okay.
I have. I was there filling the little cup. Actually, it was a very small amount in that little cup, but I was like, well, that's all you need. That's all I got. So, name, height, age. Okay. I don't even know if that's big or small or what.
Yeah, I don't either.
Like girls know that stuff. Okay. What percentile is he? They really have a bucket next to the bed with placenta in it?
It's like for a fighter. It's like the
Spit bucket?
Yeah.
She just kind of stands over it?
One more round, Rock. Ugh, that would be the worst flavor you could possibly.
Now, for your...
Placenta and cream.
Of course, you can't do anything that's not on Twitter. So for your Twitter action yesterday, it said like you were only in the room for a minute and then you had to go back out, or what's the story there? Was it a C-section might do that for you? Because they actually, for our second kid had a C-section, and you know the story. It's so great because they let the dad has to go home to care for his young daughter, while the lady has to stay in there, and then the dad can get a babysitter for the young daughter the next morning to show up at 6 a.m. because she wakes up early while the dad stays up playing Tiger Woods golf late that night. That's what some people do for the C-section, but actually with us. Just kind of like the wedding cake, they let me make the first incision, and when they took my picture, and I'd smile as I made the incision for the C-section.
Did you get like you were a councilman opening a new library or something with
Big
a
giant
huge pair of scissors? You just snip it.
Yeah. Or maybe they'd let you do that with the umbilical cord.
Right, you just turn to the camera.
Do they actually let some guys cut the umbilical cord?
Yeah, I think that's still around. If you have any sort of complications, you can. Do you want to make jokes, Dan? If you have jokes about complications, now's the time.
Well, I didn't have any of those, so I can't joke about it.
Good. See?
Breech? That's the only thing I know that could be a I don't know anything about babies born.
So this
Did
is
you
an
have
interesting...
to shove your hand in there and turn it around, like with a newborn calf? I've done that a few times.
Turducken. So the mix, in the mix, the discussion of has the first person to live until 150 already been born, and TC raises the question: what if it's baby Kellison 2,
Yeah.
part 2? Maybe your kid will be 150.
You had the money to keep him going.
Oh, see, he's already.
So you have 2 boys.
It's just with one T.
Ages. How old's your older? Okay.
Did you say ages as in
Oh,
you
yeah,
needed
it's,
a
the other one
count
is
on the
one
second
day.
one that was born last night? Seems pretty evident, but yeah.
He's 1/7 of a week. Are you... So you got to go home by yourself last night and leave the lady?
You know what interesting?
Why?
COVID. Can't leave and come back.
Oh, so you're... Okay.
You know what's great about Killer as a father, though, is that if little Spartacus is up late at night, Killer can just start telling him the story about his neighbor who had a test that he was taking online where he was cheating, and they all had the same. They all
right
use the
asleep.
same. Yeah, the kid's just out like a light. It's a good skill.
Well, Killer, we're nobody could be happier for you than we here on the Dan and Jake noon to 3 program. Now, I'm not sure how Blake feels about this. I'm sure he has something disparaging to say about you off the air, though.
Blake about Killer? Okay, backhanded.
Certainly, you're going to be telling your wife when you have kids, we can't have complications. Like, you just have to one-up Killer somehow.
Right.
You can't do a C-section. I don't care what happens. Got to go natural.
All right, well, you have a good weekend, Killer.
Extra stitch?
Yeah, I mean, there's like 30
Oh,
of
that's
them.
right. It's on her stomach. That'd be weird. All right.
So,
All right. Well, say hi to your the new CEO of Killer Oil, and tell the wife something really nice that normal people would say, but we're not going to really say to her. But like, give her our well wishes or something. But it's not really meant. We don't really mean it. We don't wish her ill, but I don't think we wish her particularly well.
no. The zero-sum game. All right, see you, Killer.
Later, man. Way to go. Oh no.
I
Killer
can't.
exterminated.
I can't wait until Killer's kid, like, because this Killer's going to inherit this massive energy company and he's going to have all this money. But, you know, then it'll go down to Killer, and then by the time he gets to Killer and his kid is like Billy Madison and has to go back and do kindergarten when he's like 28 and he's trying to take over the company.
Damn, I wish I was going to
I
ask
don't
him if
know.
I could be the kid's godfather. After watching The Godfather, I realized how important that is to a young man.
No, that's just what he's going with on the air.
So 2 major announcements here. The minor announcement, Killer had a baby. The major announcement, Mike Reiner will be filling in and hosting for 3 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Next Friday,
That's cool, too.
right here. Another big announcement. Luca, officially back tonight. We get our exclusive preview next.
Congrats on killing it.